What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another masterpiece review, and today we're taking a look at MP-29, and I can't believe we have 29 MPs at this point, but this is MP-29 Shockwave, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I love myself some G1 masterpieces, and Shockwave's no exception, even though I have the Fans Toys version. Now, before we go on, I do want to say that the colors on the camera, to me, are looking very inaccurate, but I want to say in person, it looks like this Shockwave just stepped out of the G1 cartoon. I promise you, the colors that you're seeing on the screen are, where they're almost bluish, is not how it is. It's a very, like lavender purple. Perfect for Shockwave if you're going for the cartoon look. As you can see, he does come with a little stand here. It really nicely integrates. We'll get to that later. And yeah, now, right off the bat, I do want to point out, I hate this. I can't stand that they didn't come up with some little thing to, fold around this way or from inside or any way that could fill this up. This is, to me, the worst part of this toy. He does have a little bit of gap down here at the handle and on this side, but I can excuse that by how this works. This, I feel like, shouldn't be there. So I will most definitely be creating some little piece here with some kind of little, markings, and it'll probably be like the white or gray color. Just plug into the back to fill that out. But yeah, he's good. He takes two LR44 batteries right here, and he takes two AAAs right here, which makes me think that with this trigger he was going to make some noises, but sadly he does not. All he does is light up the LED in the front here, and just for reference, it's a very bright LED. But I would have really loved if they had one of those little dollar store like pew pew sounds going on. It was a little disappointing. Very bright though, very bright. It will blind you. So yeah, that's almost all there is to say about the gun mode. I will say that this tube here is like a spring material. Very well done. I don't think it's ever gonna break. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could break sometime. But yeah, by far the best tube on a Shockwave we've got to date. Let's put him here, and let's go ahead and let's address the elephant in the room right now. There's third-party renditions of Shockwave, this being the Fans Toys version, and let's just kind of compare them if we can. It's hard to do. They're overall, the Fans Toys one is just a smidge longer, maybe about, I would say, like a centimeter longer overall, if that, maybe half a centimeter. He's got no trigger. He's definitely more weight than this. This is fairly light. This is a lot heavier. Yeah, so I don't know. It's up to you which one you prefer. Again, I think the Masterpiece kind of nails the G1 styling a little bit better. Yeah, but this one's definitely a darker purple, so if that's something that's going to bother you, definitely keep that in mind. So one thing I wanted to point out, if you don't like having a piece like this that you have to that you have to keep, as the backpack, you maybe want them all self-contained, no extra pieces. Fortunately, there is something you can do. And what you do is work on transforming his legs a little bit here. Just like this. And you can actually fold this out and fold the foot and put that back away. Fold this out, fold the foot, put that back away, and we can actually put this all right back together again, like this. And if you angle the foot right, it is a little bit extreme. There we go. You actually can get him to stand up in his gun mode without any stand, so if you aren't interested in this, there's an option for you. So let's get on with the transformation on this guy. We'll start by folding this down, come down here, and pop these little pieces off. They're pretty easy to do. Open these up and fold them around, and then I can't ever remember if they go up or down, but it's pretty easy to figure out once you have it. We can go ahead and separate the legs. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to know, if you have a floppy gun like I had in the unboxing video, just line it up and click it into place and it will hold. So keep that in mind. Anyway, coming down to the feet, we'll split the feet like this. And then from here, we can actually take these, fold this out, fold the knee joint up I had already had the foot in position from earlier. We're going to take this piece, fold it out, and fold it around, and plug it into the bottom here. Bring this up, and this is where we'll figure out if we have this right. We do. You have this tab, it goes into that slot up there, so kind of close that on up, just like so. And then you need to rotate it around so this piece is now at the front of the butt. So we'll do that again for this side down here. Take this, rotate his leg around, not forgetting to do his little shin area. Bring this around, peg it into place. Now take this, make sure we have it arranged properly. It pegs into place, and we fold this around, and we've got some feet. Very, very simplistic. We're going to come to the top of the robot here, and we'll just take these, and we'll fold these up and out of the way like this. This will let us bring our arms out, and you can see we have no need to detach the hose. You can bring it all the way down and up like that. We can close this back up, and let's bring the camera back down so we can see what's going on. As you can see, the little armature kind of dropped. You can take this and fold this up just like that to make his backpack there, if that's what you want to do. And then the last thing, you can see it already kind of happened. The trigger was down like this. Fold it up. Make sure that you have this loose. For whatever reason, it seems to make it easier for it to go in and out of the robot torso. For me, maybe that's just a coincidence, because now it's not really working very well. Yeah, I don't know what causes that to be harder or easier. This is definitely the one thing that it's interesting, but it's the worst part of this toy, in my opinion. One of the worst parts, I should say, and not the worst part, but the trigger's annoying. Anyway, once it's up there, just kind of pull this thing down like a garage door, and you can leave this either pegged in to make it solid, but you probably want it extended so you do get that waist, but no real ratchets on it, so I don't know, we'll talk about that. Finally, the head is a little bit tough. You do have to kind of swing it on up, and you have to kind of grab it from underneath here, because if you just flip it up, it usually doesn't really work right. Actually, that worked just fine for me this time, so I don't know. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever had it pop up like that. Anyway, I guess if that's going to work from now on, then that's the way I'm going to do it. Bring it up, and if you're having trouble getting it to clip in, what I say to do is pull the head sideways, like that, and then back to the other side, and you should hear it click in twice. And there we go. His head is set, and we've got Shockwave here. And I gotta say, he's looking pretty darn good. Let's get this thing out of here for a second. There we go. It's working. When you push this down, it does nothing but light up his backpack again. So, kind of worthless in robot mode, but whatever. The arm is like this, or if you do prefer the other way, you can flip it around and put the hose on top. So you do have the option. I believe the instructions even tell you to do that, but you do have the battery cover on the side here. I've always liked my Shockwave with his hose on the bottom. I feel like it makes the most sense. And just to show you the hose, it's just a little plug-in thing here. Very nice. No complaints there. No LED in the eyeball, which I think is a little bit of a missed opportunity, but he does have some wicked light piping, and let me see. I don't think I have any real good light here that's gonna help capture it. Let's see if we can bring in anything there. We're bringing the light behind there, and it does a really good job capturing light. Like, this is indirectly, it's like you're getting the reflection off of this part of the lamp here, and it's lighting up. So in a lot of places he will actually get some really good lighting on his eye, and I really like that. Now the LR44s in his arm here, you push this button here and it actually pulses about 8 times, I believe it is, and then it turns itself back off. So it's not like you click it and it stays on or anything like that, just a quick pulse. And he did come with some accessories, so let's talk about them real quick. He has a translucent cannon, and all you do to put this on is just slide it on off. I mean, that's all it is an LED right in there. And just slide this back on, and now you have an entire glowing purple cannon. And I mean, in the dark, that really does look pretty impressive, I gotta say. I like how that looks. You also have the option of giving him a normal hand, if you want your Shockwave to be ambidextrous, I suppose. And it does have the same articulation as the other hand, which is just simply the fingers open and it wiggles around on, well, it kind of looks like a half ball joint. It's very weird. You do have this like karate chopping hand, which I'm not really sure I understand, and that's for his right hand. And you also have the translucent version. So I'm surprised they didn't give two translucent hands. It kind of surprises me, because you can give him translucent on this side for the gun. But I just don't personally think that looks very good. I will definitely be sticking with the solid gun and the solid hand on this side. And he does come with a little version of himself to hold as a weapon, which apparently happened in the TV show. It has a little piece of rope here for his hose, so that's a pretty nice touch that he still has a flexible hose. And per the usual MP thing, you just kind of take it in there, channel it into the hand, and close this, and he holds himself just like a champ. So let's talk articulation on this guy. He's got a head that's on a ball joint, pretty nice, very expressive for as much expression as a mono-eyed thing is going to give. A ratcheted shoulder this way at the actual shoulder joint, and then a nice softer ratchet, like a spring-based ratchet, to go around here. Coming down to his waist, you saw as we pulled this up, you do get some forward and back out of this, and you do get some side to side. It only goes so far before it seems to lock up. I'm not sure if it's hindered. I think it is. Actually, yeah, I can see it is. If you look under here, you can see where the plate hangs down, so you don't get much side to side out of them. And there's no ratchets, so it's not really holding any poses terribly well, but I mean, it's gonna hold a pose. It's just not gonna ratchet in place. It's just loose. There is this skirt armor on the sides here. The back does not move, as far as I see. I have been wrong on that before, but I don't see any way for the back to move. The front does move up, so you get like a full forward here, almost 90, where it just ends up getting in the way up here, and about this far back. So, can you hear this? I was like, what the heck is that noise? It's the little springs here. Yeah, so not very much backwards motion on this. A 90-degree knee. Frankly, I don't think Shockwave is the type of guy who I'm going to have on a shelf looking like he's running and shooting at something. Shockwave seems more cold and calculating to me than that. And he does have the thigh swivel here. Coming down to the foot, a ratcheted foot piece. Sorry, you guys, sorry for the jump cut. I'm dying here. Got a cold from NJCC. Anyway, and then you do have a swivel on the toe, so you can bring his little tiny feet on in. Now, one thing that is a big bummer to me is that he's got the side to side, and it's not ratcheted at all. I mean, I don't understand. I guess, like, you know, we don't want to have like click, 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 and done, but like he could have a bunch of little clicks. I did tighten the screw up on this, so he does hold his foot in position a little bit better, but it's definitely wobbly, and I don't understand that decision. I feel it would have been better with the ratchet. But overall, I mean, that's the biggest complaint, and then his toes do look a little bit small. I do wish they were a little bit bigger and filled out the shoe here. I guess you call it a shoe, but like see this gap here? That kind of bothers me. It looks like he's got like a half of a foot. It's not terrible, but I don't like it. So I said I would talk about this piece here. Let's talk about this piece. The instructions are a little bit unclear as to what you're supposed to do. At least they were to me. If you got it, you know, good for you. But you take these and you fold these pieces up like this. And then what you do, you open up this clear piece like so. And it slides right on in here, right through the bottom here, and you gotta make sure it's as far up as it's gonna go, and you close this. If it's not as far up as it's going to go, the little sight at the end of the barrel won't go in, and you actually can just go ahead and put that right on his back so he can store his base, which I think is a nice touch. It looks pretty nice when it's on there, so no complaints. Well done on integrating the base. So let's bring the elephant back out, and here is the Fans Toys Shockwave. And you know, honestly, the aesthetic between the two is entirely different. I mean, this is G1 cartoon, this is like more modernized Shockwave. So you have to make the decision if you're wondering which one of these to go with. If you don't mind a more modern look and a darker purple, then Fans Toys is going to be your choice. So I have seen some people complaining about the size of Shockwave here, and I don't really understand it because, so he's smaller than MP-10, and let's bring out, once again, let's bring that elephant in the room back out here. Here's the Fans Toys one, who is about the same size as your MP-10. Shockwave being a bit smaller. The problem with the people I see complaining about him, he's almost the same exact size as Soundwave, who is a little bit smaller than Optimus Prime. So I don't have a problem with that. He's not Megatron, he's not the big bad. I'm okay with him being smaller, but if you're not, that's going to bother you from now forever. I mean, unless you have something to prop him up to make him bigger, it's going to bother you. So be aware of that. That could also be a selling toys of Fans Toys or Cloud9's Shockwave. Now here he is with my Apollyon, who still remains in working order and unscratched. And I guess I can kind of understand the problem here with him feeling a bit small. Again, I don't have a problem with it because he's not the leader. I know he was the leader in the comics after he killed everybody. But for the cartoon, he's the guy who was on Cybertron who never seemed to interact with anybody. Yeah, so it doesn't bother me that he's about the size of Soundwave. But it may bother you, so be aware of it. So let's get Shockwave transformed back to his gun mode and let's get out of here. We're going to start by opening up the back here and getting this standoff, and once again to convert it back, put it down here and clip this in place just like so. And we'll come back to his head and push that down in place. I do worry about a little bit of paint chipping on his ears. You can see the inside actually, it's like they missed paint on this side on mine, but whatever. I didn't notice it until now, so it must not have been that big of a deal to me. Take his arms, straighten them out at the shoulder, and bring them up. Just like so. Take this piece, bring it around. Like that. Make sure we have these pieces all the way open to the side so we can put these back in. So bring like the little armature piece, for lack of a better word, around. It will peg in between his arms here if you have it in the right location, just like that. And all the hands fit in there. Close this on up, just like so. Once again, no removal of the gun. Slide this forward. Slide the little trigger down. Take this, clip it into place, take his foot, rotate it around, rotate it around. Now we'll take this piece and kind of fold it on out like so, and bring this piece around like that, and we'll get it situated properly in a minute. Bring the foot, rotate it all the way in, take this piece, unplug it, fold it up like that, and fold it in. And then take this back piece, fold it like that, so it's ready to fold in like so. And to know you have the knee in the right location, you want it to plug in to the front here of his crotch. So go ahead, open this up again. Make sure we have the leg rotated in the right direction. Clear all this stuff. Take this, unplug it, fold it around, fold the foot in, fold that in, bring this up, and we can go ahead and plug all of this stuff together right down here, forming the handle. Take that, fold it around, clip that in together, clip this down to secure it, flip this up, and fold these little pieces up to secure that. And there we go. Shockwave back in his gun mode, ready to make pew-pews. Just put them on the stand, and there's the stand just goes right on this metal armature piece. So it just holds them just like that. So overall, I gotta say, for me, you probably want to know which one I think is best. And to me, it depends. For my collection, my sensibilities, I still prefer the Fans Toys ones over this one. It feels a little more high-end with the die cast and everything like that. I mean, this is an awesome hose, but everything else on the Fans Toys I feel is just a little bit better to me. I'm not quite as concerned about the right out of the cartoon accuracy that this one gives. If that's important to you, hands down this one. Yeah. For me, the overall slight bit of extra size on Shockwave, the purple, I like the deeper purple. The more modern, bulky look, I prefer that of the Fans Toys. But this is a very good masterpiece. It's got very few flaws to me, like this back piece here and some of this little stuff down here, which I don't fault them on this. The bigger toes would have been nice, but I guess it's a constraint based on how it transforms. The transformation is so much fun with this guy. Yeah, so ultimately it's going to come down to your own collection. If you like how this guy looks, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. If you think he's too small, you know, that type of stuff, nothing about this is going to fix it for you. He's just going to be a fun toy to own. Yeah, so it really comes down to you. It's a very solid masterpiece. You know, masterpiece line has not... the ship is not going down. We don't need to abandon the ship at this point. It's good. So that's my thoughts on it. You really have to make your own opinions when it comes to this guy and go from there. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next week.